Welcome to the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve, Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner.
And the voice of real estate.
Alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger. We're going to give you your mortgage news, your real estate news. I've got numbers on the market and where are those at. I've got time on the market. We want to talk about that. How long is it taking somebody to sell? And then also I want to talk about sweat equity. What's the best way to get that in your home? So, Bruce, what do you got
to
today?
Sweat? That's how you do it.
Yeah,
you
doing
sweat,
swinging the hammer.
As soon as you go outside, you just sweat.
Yep.
So you've already made an accomplishment.
Yep.
So sweat equity, I love talking about that. I like talking about any way to gain equity because, you know, there's a lot of ways to gain equity in a property. One of is accelerating your payments. One is appreciation. We can talk a little bit about that. But you know what? At the end of the day, Cleve, you and I are always looking to help people gain equity, which is gaining wealth. And when we do that, when you gain equity in your real estate, I think it's one of the best ways to make money because it's unrealized gains.
Yep.
So if you made, like my son Chase has already up almost $200,000 in equity in his
house
home.
he bought 3 years ago?
That's been 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 4 years now. So he has gained about $185,000 in equity, but there's no taxes to be paid on that at this point.
Yep. It's going to help him get a bigger home. It's going to help be a good rental for him.
So these are the things that we like to do. And Cleve and I were just talking about another young couple. We love helping young couples. If you're in your 20s or 30s and you don't own real estate or you want to own more real estate, Cleve and I are passionate about helping people gain wealth in real estate. My name's Bruce Woodburn. They call me the Lone Ranger. I've been in the mortgage business for over 35 years. I'm right here in your backyard. And I want you to know that you've got somebody in the business that is here to help guide you in the right direction every single time. And I'd be honored to take care of your friends and family members. You can reach me at 407-250-9144 or Cleve Loveland, the voice of real estate, at
407-352-8118. I'll be working all weekend.
Yep. Same here.
So numbers.
Let's go over some numbers.
I got the inventory. Great report from the Orlando Regional Realtor Association. The inventory actually came down slightly, about just over a 5-month supply. What the drag on the market, we'll talk about interest rates in a second, is 6.5% rates. But the number of sales, we're still slightly behind last year. We had 2,500 sales in July. These are July's report. And so we're running about 12% behind 2024. The sales are about 12% behind for that month. But also what's happening is that's like that number right there, Bruce, that's an average winter for us.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fall winter number.
Oh, you mean that doesn't mean we're not crashing?
The number of sales. No, we are not crashing. There's no defaults. We're not into a 12-month supply where nothing's selling and prices are plummeting. But it is interesting to see. And it's funny because everybody goes, is there a good time to sell a house? Depends on your situation. But I think what's going to happen as these rates trickle down, the sales are going to pick up. And I think the winter months could actually exceed the summer months we've had because it's been a blah summer.
It's one of those weird years that nothing is normal anymore.
Yeah.
Like our normal patterns we didn't see.
Well, this is my 4th slowdown. I've been in for 35 years in real estate and I've seen, slow sales periods. And this is nothing like the other 3.
But you know what? I am seeing the buyers starting to pick up right now.
My buyer traffic the past 2 weeks that when we had the rates break free, they kind of dropped a little bit. Where are we at now?
You're back up around 6.5 to 6.75 right now.
So, and they were like hovering higher than that for a little bit.
7.25.
So,
and then we were at 6.875 for almost 9 months.
Yeah. So that's a slight decrease. And as that continues, I think buyers are going to come back out, but there's also people out there. It is time to buy, sellers. I mean, I've had probably 4 buyers in the past 6 months that we got 6% closing costs for.
Right.
I mean, before that
you'd never get that
was unheard of.
In a normal market. You're not going to get it. And you know what? I preach to my buyers on that topic, but I think for all intents and purposes, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I think a lot of it falls on deaf ears. I don't think that first-time home buyers realize the gravity of this market and that if they wait for interest rates to drop so they feel more comfortable with their payment, they won't get the closing costs paid.
Well, I got some leapfroggers ready to buy now. They're buying their second one. And they're not going to, like, they bought a house 2 years ago, a year ago, and they're moving towards the second one this year. they're not going to cash flow on the rental because they put down 3.5 or 5%. And they're going to about break even. Once we do all the numbers, they're about breaking even what rent will be, what their mortgage payment is. But they know, hey, what do you think? Another year or so we'll be
Well,
in the
I
fives.
think honestly, within the next 6 to 9 months, we're going to see a break in the action. I think that is imminent. I think that you're going to start to see improved interest rates. I think the stock market's going to come back a little bit. All the work that Donald Trump has put into getting this country fixed is going to start working.
Yep.
Those things don't happen overnight. He has years of things that he's fixing right now.
Yep.
And some of them were caused by Joe Biden. Some of them were just caused by just the whole economic situation.
Well, wherever we were, it's funny, the whatever happens, we know real estate's going to go up. Your mortgage is going to go down. If you got tenants, the tenants are paying the mortgage down. You're getting some tax advantages, and you got the appreciation on the price. Because these numbers I've got right here, Bruce, appreciation was actually flat on the median price.
Right.
And that's the first time we've had that in forever. I can't remember a month that's happened.
Yeah, it's almost it's within $1.
Yeah, and with the average price was still up 2%.
Yeah, so
at
we're up
479.
2.1% for the average price,
But
which we don't like using average.
Yeah, and the median price though sitting flat, that's unusual. So this is the bottom. We just don't know if I called the bottom back in January. I was wrong. I thought we were going to start speeding up, but the rates didn't help us out. So I just think, the bottom
The
could
monthly
last.
volume is pretty doggone close to the same
Yep,
though.
that's because so the number of sales, but everything it's hard to time the bottom. Like we know exactly which month before things take off. We don't.
You can't.
And I got a
time
crystal ball from my
anything.
mom when she retired 30 years ago, but I've never figured out how to make it work. But I do know people buying now, you're going to be in that house for a while. You're not going to lose money. And that's the thing you need to get done.
Well, when we talk about the difference in the average home and the median home, a way I look at it is, and somebody explained it to me this way. The average dog has 4 legs.
Yeah.
But the median dog might have 3.89 legs. Okay. All right.
Well,
I look at that because my sister-in-law has 2 dogs and they only have 3 legs.
Okay.
There's only 6 legs between the 2 of them.
Okay. All
There's
right.
not 8.
Okay.
So
is she a veterinarian? Veterinarian's
no,
like, okay.
She's just a dog lover.
All right. So, but I just think the Central Florida, I got another article here, Bruce, about how coastal insurance costs are driving people to Central Florida.
Isn't that nice?
And I talk about this all the time. People are, everybody's like, oh my God, if Mondami gets elected in New York, and I've had sellers actually tell me this, we're going to raise the price on my house, right, for sale. And I'm like, you've been on the market for 90 days. No, we're not doing that because they don't all come here. They're not all instantaneous. They're still going to shop around. And if you've been sitting at the same price for 30 days, it's time we make a little market adjustment, or we need to paint that purple bedroom, or we need to fix the front yard. They're not all going to come here. They're going to look around. They're not all going to come to Florida. They're not all going to come to Orlando. So I get about 20% of my offers are other Floridians coming here. Less than 5% I see are relos.
Right. A lot of the out-of-state buyers I'm doing right now are mostly investors. They think that Florida is a prime market to invest in.
That's one of the only places you can still go. I'm like, we moved up from like being the 21st most expensive state to the 7th. I think we're 19th.
Are we?
I need to check that stat again. Fortune, I think Money Magazine puts that out. Haven't seen it in a while.
And listen, I don't want to get it on this segment, but on the next segment, I do want to talk about Hometown Heroes that came out this week and how it works and who can benefit from it. So you won't want to miss the next segment because this will be all about you. If you have struggled to buy a home because you just can't come up with the down payment, I may have a solution for you. So when we come back from the next break, we'll talk a little bit about that. In the meantime, you can reach Cleve Loveland at 407-352-8118, the voice of real estate here in Florida. Been in the real estate business for how many years now? 35 years
on the radio for 30.
And then Bruce Woodburn, the loan arranger, that would be me. CrossCountry Mortgage, you can call or text me anytime at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com for all your mortgage needs, purchases, refinance, construction, renovation, home equity line of credit, reverse mortgage, up, down, sideways, name it. I got it. I've got loan programs that should fit just about anybody's needs.
Hey, I just got some news here. You know what? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of the most expensive out of 10 most expensive markets in the US. Florida has 6 of them.
That's crazy.
And as a Coral Gables just unseated Beverly Hills. It's like
You're
the most,
kidding me.
and I'm not sure if there's, and they can twist
Maybe
stats
just
however they
nothing's
want.
been sold. These stats get twisted
to make headlines. I mean, but as far as that's probably immediate, it's probably appreciation and growth. But it's just funny. Coral Gables, Port Royal in Naples, Old Cutler Bay in Coral Gables, San Marino Island in Miami Beach, Bears Club in Jupiter, Florida, Palm Island in Miami Beach, Florida.
All of those are really just outstanding areas.
Yeah.
So I just got back. I took my boat on a trip down to the Keys, and I stopped at those places. There, it's just like you think you're in Beverly Hills when you drive by these mansions on the Intercoastal Waterway and in Jupiter and Fort Lauderdale. And I mean, just like when you got a 140-foot ship parked in your backyard on the Intercoastal,
and it's not
Waterway.
worth more than the house because that's probably a $3 or $4 million boat, right?
Gosh, it's just absolutely. It is so fun to drive through there. It's just incredible. I want to talk a little bit about homeowners insurance. Have you heard anything about insurance coming down? And
I've heard about more carriers coming in, and rates have not been that bad. I had some people I helped. One gentleman was getting absolutely raked over the coals at like $8,000 a month, and I had him call our friend.
$8,000 a month.
Well, it's a big house, and I had him call John Tankersley. We got him reduced by about 25% reduced.
Oh, good.
Things like that. But you got to shop that coverage. This is kind of, and it's not something that's like, oh darn, mortgage payment went up $300 a month because the insurance bill went up 50%.
So would you
look at that.
ever advise somebody that has a free and clear property not to insure it?
If their net worth is very, very, very high.
So I have a situation that came in, and I want to share this with our listeners because this to me is a huge problem. Lady, retired, living in retirement, owns her home free and clear. It's worth $350,000. Catches on fire, does $250,000 worth of damage to the house.
She had no insurance.
No insurance.
Oh my God.
Now, that person was complaining about the price of insurance. Now
needs it.
Now
Can't
she
get
may
it.
not qualify to even rebuild the home.
Well, I think if you've got a net worth of,
well, sure, if she had a net worth that she could pay the house off,
the interest is paying for the house to be rebuilt in case something happened.
But if you don't,
what I have heard of people doing though, high net worth individuals, is like foregoing windstorm coverage, and they sock away some extra money. And
if your insurance company will let you away with it, I wanted my insurance company to just say, hey, any roof damage is not covered from anything unless the roof is literally taken off in a hurricane or tornado. They wouldn't do it. They won't do it.
Well, I think for the most part, it's a necessary evil, kind of like PMI. Lets people buy a house without putting 20% down, and the market would literally be almost at a standstill if that happened.
I love PMI.
But PMI and mortgage insurance protection, MIP, that's where we got to watch. I think those things are necessary part of the market, but not having insurance. I mean, in your business, they're getting a mortgage. They got to have it.
They have to have
no choice. So call our friend John Tankersley or go to We Shop Home Insurance Now. He'll help you out on that. He's got several brokers he can shop through.
Yeah. Well, we've just got about a minute and a half left here. So when we come back from the next break, I do want to talk about Hometown Heroes, down payment assistance. And then what do you have? I know you had some important issues to cover. Can we hit a couple of your listings in the next segment?
I got listings. I got a new home community I want to talk about. And I want to talk about time on the market and what that means to you.
All right. So if you would like to talk to Cleve Loveland, he can be reached right now at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118, or Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger, at 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about Hometown Heroes, down payment assistance, some of Cleve's listings, and many other things that are going to save or make you money. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Show. Go nowhere.